I think our mascot should be a panda, and because we're all potential British terrorists and pirates, the panda should be wearing a top hat and a waistcoat. This is the first time I've really scripted a Discussables video. When I say scripted, I've typed out some specific things that I want to say so I don't forget, because I think they're important. But first, this week's topic, which is responsibility. And apparently I can't spell responsibility. Oh. In general, I think people have lost a sense of independence and initiative, which means we've become reluctant to depend on other people as well. I know, that makes sense. We're not independent, but we're not dependent. But what I mean is, if you ask someone to do something, chances are they won't put much effort or time into it, and then you lose faith in them. And it also makes people become condescending and patronising about certain tasks. The other day I wanted to do a little bit of cooking. My dad kept asking me if I was okay doing it, if I needed anything, if he wanted me to get anything for him, if he wanted him to get anything for me and stuff like that. And I felt like going, Dad, I am 20 years old. For the last 7 months I have looked after myself. I can do this. And although in that case it's my dad thinking that I'm not responsible, a lot of the time it's people don't put responsibility into themselves. Like in the education system, a lot of people expect to be spoon-fed. They don't think they have to put a lot of effort in to get their qualifications or to get anywhere. And then you go into the workforce. You don't work hard for yourself. You have no personal responsibility to get somewhere. You think that you go into a job and you expect to automatically have a pretty good job. You don't think, I've got to start from the bottom and work my way up. I'm not saying this is anybody in particular, by the way. I'm just saying that it's an observation I've made about a lot of people, that they don't feel like they should have any responsibility, that it all should just be handed to them. I'll keep that a bit brief because I want to go on to the, in my opinion, the important thing, because it kind of affects the whole channel. I want to make a suggestion for the format of the Discussables. The reason I came up with the idea of the channel was because I liked the idea of having back and forth conversation between videos. Because a few years ago, I think when I was 16, my friend Jade and I did it. We had our own little channel. We didn't have any subscribers, I don't think, it was just each other. And we just had little discussions between ourselves. You know, we'd take it in turns. We didn't have certain days, but we just took it in turns to upload videos. I mean, some days we had multiple videos that were uploaded. I suppose the best comparison would be an email or a letter. You send quite a long message to somebody and they will respond to a few or all of the different things that you've said, and as you communicate back and forth, the topic gradually changes. That's what I wanted really in our channel. We would have a discussion from person to person where it would gradually change, or there would be arguments between people, not like bad arguments, I mean like conversational arguments. But obviously that's quite difficult to do when there is 5 of us and we all have a set day that we put a video up. Which is why then came up the idea of having weekly topics, so that we could respond to the same thing but also respond to the people before us. But then I thought about, ideally, if we're going to do it that way, we kind of need 2 weeks, which is where my suggestion comes in. We could possibly come up with broader topics that we discuss over a 2-week period. Obviously, in the first week, the topic is introduced and in turn we have our say, and we can respond to the people before us, either with counter-arguments or reinforcing an argument. And then during the second week, the people that were at the beginning of the week can respond to the later ones from the previous week. And also if they've got any more arguments or they've got any responses to the counter-arguments or anything like that. Just basically, this is where all this discussion goes on. At the end of the first week and the beginning of the second week. And then at the end of the second week is where everything's rounded off. And then that has been a discussion. We've had a topic come up, we've spoken about it, argued or challenged or enforced it, and then it's been rounded off. So yeah, I think for next week we should have a very broad topic and try and spend the 2 weeks discussing it. Discuss all different aspects of it, interpret it how we want or anything like that. So anybody watching this, if you want to suggest topics, then go for it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you're okay Friday, James. Please come back to us. The week's not complete without a Friday.